Hello everyone, my name is Tahukan. I just saw Child's Play and it was surprisingly good. Worth noting though, Child's Play is only Child's Play in name. I mean that literally. It shares the title name, the main kid's name, and the doll's name, as well as the premise of a murderous doll, but that's where the similarities end. I think this is actually a really good thing for a franchise that has had 7 movies. Something to shake it up isn't that bad at all. Child's Play 2019 has a very, very different take on the story, largely revolving around, and this isn't a spoiler, the tech of the modern era. You know how we all have Alexas and Bluetooth speakers and smart TVs? It doesn't play the angle in a preachy sort of context either. It does it in a good way, which is very uncommon for movies where tech is sort of the true demon. Now, I've mentioned this a few times before. My scoring for horror movies is a bit different. I value humor and gore and effects over story. That being said, it only goes so far. If I give a horror movie a 10, it's on the same scale as the other 10s, but it has a different point and focus, same as every 10 would. There's a different focus when you watch a John Wick, and there's a different focus when you watch a Bad Times at the El Royale or a Tarantino movie. They all have a different draw. So, what is the focus of Child's Play? The plot of Child's Play 2019 is as follows, with no spoilers. Andy is given a buddy doll, an intelligent AI-driven robot that acts as your very best friend. But things aren't all they seem with Andy's buddy, Chucky. Child's Play aims to present a cohesive, understandable story, and outside of a few shots that didn't make plot sense or real logical sense, but just wanted to look neat and cool, the movie executes its vision very well. The plot, though, is very stereotypical of a mid-80s horror movie, but done better. Easily understandable plot used to execute crazy and gore-filled kills, but with a healthy dose of humor throughout thanks to Aubrey Plaza and Brian Tyree Henry. There are a few lines that'll make you cringe, but overall the story is enjoyable, albeit simplistic and easily foreseeable with the way it's going to end. It's still enjoyable though, which is a credit to it. Oftentimes when you can see where the movie's going, it's not enjoyable. You're just going through the motions in your mind. With a moderate kill count for a movie that waits until the last 60 minutes to really get into gear, Child's Play executes some great gore-filled deaths, all made the more creepy by Mark Hamill's voice coming from a short doll. Practical effects in particular were excellent and the CGI was great, even more so for a horror movie that only had a budget of $10 million. That's not to say only high-budget horror movies have great kills, it's generally the opposite, but for this it felt quality. Especially the scenes where Chucky moved, it seems like they used a practical robot they made and an actual CGI model, and the CGI model only looks weird in a couple shots where there's lighting issues. Like last year when I said in Infinity War where there were some issues with Thanos in a couple scenes, it all comes down to the way they were able to match lighting. It's like when you see an old horror movie and you're like, oh, they're gonna fucking die because the background looks a bit off because the lighting is different on their head. It's shit like that. It's harder to match, so I don't really like to focus on that because that's more of a tech issue and it's less indicative of the overall talent of the crew who made the movie. No performances were really remarkable with the exception of Mark Hamill, who, without him, I have no idea if this would have even been half as good as it was without his creepy-ass voice. Everyone other than him worked in their roles, but didn't stand out to me. I like Brian Tyree Henry and I like Aubrey Plaza, but this was okay for them, nothing stand out at all. Passing grade, essentially. For a lot of you who see it, you may think it's more of a dark comedy, similar to Trick or Treat or Krampus, than horror, and that's a fair takeaway. I don't even really have anything to counter with other than I consider dark comedy movies with gore and kills a sub-genre of horror itself. You know, Us had humor in it, but that wasn't a dark comedy because it just had humor to break away. This has humor in large chunks of it, so it's subjective on which you think it falls in between. So, real quick, good kills, a fine story, great antagonist, mild issues with favoring cool shots over being realistic, but an otherwise solid and average fun movie. I give Child's Play a 6 out of 10, a metered and fun take on an existing IP that actually does something new and doesn't fuck it up. I say 6 and not 5 because I view 5 as just a neutral movie, 6 would be neutral plus positive, 4 would be neutral plus 1 negative. I recommend it if you're looking for a horror film this weekend. Let me know if you've seen Child's Play in the comments, what you thought of it, or if you have movies or subjects you'd like to see me review or talk about in a future video. I read all of your comments, even those you guys comment saying, fuck me daddy, only to delete it 15 hours later. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video and would want to see more like it in the future. And please check out my Twitch channel. I stream there nearly every day now, playing games and talking to you guys. Right now I'm going through the Wolfenstein series, so if you'd like to go see that, you can. You can also join my Discord server or check out my Letterboxd account to see all of my ratings, including films I don't review on here, such as older movies that I'm not sure if you guys would even be interested in me doing reviews like that on. If you'd like to help support me making more videos like this, you can visit my Patreon or my merch store, and if you visit the merch store and use code SUMMER10, you can get 10% off your order until the end of July. Maybe I'm partial, but I personally love my merch design, so why don't you go check them out? So thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Huge thank you to Patreon supporters Anonymous and Matt Porter. I really appreciate it.